Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting tech set up. So hang out for a few minutes and hopefully we will get going right on time. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, Instagram. Hey, June. Good morning, Kick. Still waiting on YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. All the channels, all the places, all the channels. All the channels, all the places. Now if only we can just arrange them all accordingly on the screen. Okay. Okay. Oops. Sorry guys, just arranging a bunch of windows on my screen here just to make sure that I can keep track of everything as it's going so we don't lose any of the feeds during the live. Remember everyone, I am live on several channels, so if one goes down, hey Citrine, like TikTok is kind of unreliable, so if that one goes down, you can always find me on YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and apparently Instagram now. Oh, Citrine, that's a really wonderful way to start your day. Bottle feeding bunnies? Stop. All right. Instagram. We'll scroll down here so I can see the comments. This guy here. This is so silly, you guys. I need to invest in another screen or something. This is pretty silly. Hey, Joy. Good morning. Okay. All those things are in the right places. Now let's plug in the phone so we can... I said I was going to start on time this morning, but you know... So organized, right? Hey, Chaote, how are you this morning? So again, for those of you who were here last week when I was telling you that I was going to remove some of my classes from the public schedule, hi, I didn't do that. Why? Because a member of the Sangha had some really great insight for me the other day. I was talking about taking them down and why I'm taking them down and putting them in the Sangha. And he helped me see that I was focusing on the wrong parts. I was focusing on the parts that were making me feel like I wasn't being successful. I didn't feel successful because of the pieces I was focusing on. And yeah. Instead, I found the success. I found the successful parts. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was that almost self-sabotage? Oh, shit. This is why we need each other. This is why we need community. This is why we need mirrors, reflections, because I was spun in a way that made me feel unsuccessful. And just that little insight from a friend, from a different perspective, I went, oh my God, I nearly self-sabotaged because I was looking at it from a different angle. Good morning, Bailey. Thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome. So I've got a lot of dogs behind me. I'm going to try to find my seat somewhere on top of them. Guys, do me a favor too. If the feed drops on any of the channels or it's lagging a bunch, please drop a note in the chat or go to another spot and drop a note in the chat so I can try to keep everything running properly. Remember, I am actively looking for a behind-the-scenes tech person and a video editor, and I'm happy to trade services for those things. So let me know if you want to snag a role and help me out, help things run more smoothly. Ah, the mountain is you. Yes. I haven't read that one in particular, but okay. So, for those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Reverend Deborah, and I was going to bring candles today. Dang it. My name is Reverend Deborah, and I am a movement facilitator. I am also your shenanigan shaman, so don't expect to take yourself too seriously in here. Do we talk about serious things? Yeah, sometimes. Do we take some of these things seriously? Yes, sometimes. But weaving play, weaving curiosity, willingness, and joy into these more serious topics allows us to lift ourselves much more easily out of judgment, out of bias, out of misconception, and see things from different perspectives, right? Helps us avoid self-sabotage. So this Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday class is our Bhakti Bites class. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? Devotion to self-care. Why? Because self-care is often the last thing on our to-do list and the first thing that we erase when our day gets too busy. And while you may have a really great 2, 3, 4 time a week practice where you go to the gym or get on your mat or take a class of some kind or even just meditate, the reality is, while those things are good and helpful and useful, your self-care needs to be something that is with you at all times, that is available to you at all times. Just like you don't drink all of your water for the day in one sitting, or at least we shouldn't, self-care is better integrated when we can use it in the moment, when we really need it. In the middle of an anxiety attack, right? In the middle of a PTSD episode, in the middle of a rage episode, in the middle of a trigger. Thank you, Joy. I love you. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Okay, so Bhakti Bites happens Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And we start Monday by simply introducing the mudra for the week. What are mudras? There are all different kinds of mudras. We use hand mudras, hasta mudras. Mudras work to redirect the energy channels in the body. So they are really powerful and really accessible ways to align your entire self, your entire being, especially in those acute moments. Awesome. Thank you, Bailey. Welcome. Bailey, I will also say, since you're just joining here and anybody else who's new here, we do also have a Discord space. Most of the action, most of the interaction, most of the sharing of information and chatting happens on our Discord. You can find the Discord, a link to join the Discord for free on my Patreon page, patreon.com/move with change. I am move with change on pretty much all the platforms, but because social media is unreliable, we take the bulk of what we do, the bulk of the information into the Discord. I also have different levels of membership for the Discord if you want to work with our group sessions or privately with me as well. But remember, there's a free space. The Discord is a free space. I want to reiterate that. The Discord is a free space. It's a come as you are space. This space here and that space there. All the spaces that I host are called CAYA spaces. CAYA, C-A-Y-A, stands for come as you are. Jenny, I will help you. I'm going to make a video or two helping people get around, as well as kind of giving people an overview of the space and the code of conduct stuff that's all written out. So I'm going to do a little bit more work on that this week, so hopefully people will have a better better tools to navigate the space. But if you're in the Discord right now, all you have to do, if you are needing help or just don't know how to navigate something, you're like, help, where the hell do I find everything? You can go into any of the rooms in the server and hit @ Harmony Handler, or you can go to the help desk, Harmony Help Desk, and you can receive support to get you around in the Discord. So that's a side note. CAYA, C-A-Y-A, stands for Come As You Are, because if you are on this path of coming home to yourself, if you're rediscovering yourself, if you're learning how to connect with your higher selves or just different parts of yourself, coming home to God, seeking enlightenment, whichever title you get it, if you're doing this work, you know that it can get pretty messy. Sometimes it can even get scary. Sometimes it's downright harrowing or absurd. And having a safe space to show up exactly as you are in the moment, especially when you're having those absurd moments or difficult moments, is exponentially valuable. That's, again, what the Discord space is, and that's what this space is here. We always ask that you show up in this space with curiosity and willingness. In doing so, you afford yourself the opportunity to learn something new. You don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to take on any of the practices or any of the ideas that I am sharing. I am only sharing these because they have literally changed and saved my life. They are invaluable to to my healing. Yeah. So I share these things with you, a lot of them for free, but a whole lot more in the Discord and in the Sangha. So oh, yay, Jenny. So, yeah, right? Dissociation, showing up with curiosity makes life so much more fun. When we show up from a place of certainty, when we show up from a place of arrogance, when we show up from a place of judgment, we remove ourselves from actively engaging in the conversation. We remove ourselves from the ability to see the full scope of reality, because what we do is go like this. Yep. This is all there is. This is the only truth. This is the only information I fucking need. Well, you will be staying inside of that box as long as you keep those walls up. And that's okay. That's okay. But I usually don't do things like ban people and whatnot in chats, but we do ask that you show up with curiosity and willingness. If you are somebody who comes in and you're just yelling about things or trying to argue in the chat, you will be muted. Just the same way that a toddler comes in and screams at the adults while they're having a conversation. If you choose to act in a way that is disruptive to the general flow of this space, then you will be muted. If you come in and are outright, what's the word I'm looking for? Mean or rude, then you will be blocked. Okay? And that is not a judgment. It is a simply the way that we cultivate this space and keep this space safe. It's not a space for everybody. And there's a million places on the internet that you can go find, and you can go say whatever you feel like saying. You can go argue with people in the middle of their lives. You can go troll people in the middle of their lives. You can go do whatever you feel like in other spaces. We like to cultivate a safe space in here. So we ask that you show up with curiosity and willingness. Just start there. So, what's our mudra for the week? Namaste, paper kite. Hello. Okay, so what's our mudra for the week? Our theme. Our theme for the week is heart-centered, heart-opening, is the heart. Not quite the same way that it's going to be in a couple of weeks when I do my chakra workshop, but we are focusing on the chakra for inspiration. The mudra for inspiration. The mudra for inspiration is also known as the Shakti Mudra. You may have heard of Shakti. Shakti is the representation in Hinduism of the divine feminine, of the yin aspect. My brain was like, yin, yang? Yeah. So, Shakti translates to creative force. Shakti translates to vital energy, goddess of vital energy. This mudra is done like so. It is a two-handed mudra. Remember that if you can't quite get your fingers in this position, come as close as you can, and then just breathe into that space. We are not in the business of creating a battle within ourselves. We are here to meet ourselves with curiosity and willingness as well. So the Shakti Mudra, hey dream baby, the Shakti Mudra is done like so. Tuck your thumbs into your palms as best you can. Bring down the first two fingers, your pointer and your middle, to cover your thumb. No more than the weight of a nickel. Please don't use this space to put pressure on your fingers or to create tension in your mudra. We're not creating tension. We are arriving here with no more than the weight of a nickel with intention. No more tension, just intention. So you have this piece here. You bring those first two knuckles together as you touch the tips of the ring finger and the tips of the pinky finger together. So this is the Shakti Mudra. Shakti Mudra, one more time. Tuck your thumb into your palms. Drop your first two fingers over the thumb. Bring those first two knuckles together as you touch the tips of your ring and your pinky fingers together. We hold our mudra with intention, not tension. So get yourself into this mudra and then relax those fingers. Hey, Jessica, good morning. Now we hold this mudra at the heart, and I invite you, when you come bring it to the heart here, I invite you to kind of give your shoulders and elbows a little bit of wiggles and then relax them. Sometimes it can help to give them a little extra attention and then get them to relax. We don't want tension anywhere in the body. We hold our mudra with intention. We hold our body upright with intention. So on Mondays, we introduce the new mudra and we sit with this mudra for 5 minutes. No more, no less, just 5 minutes. And I'm looking for where my timer is, where my clock is. Okay. Because it takes 5 minutes for the energy to fully circulate, for this mudra to fully start taking effect. Obviously, the longer you sit with the mudra, the more it will resonate within you. So if you have more time to sit with this mudra, please do. As always, again, honor where you are in this moment. If you are doing this mudra and things start to get kind of funky inside, or it messes with your head in a weird way, makes you feel dizzy, makes you feel nauseous, makes you feel some sort of uncomfortable way, release the mudra. We are not in the business of creating a battle within ourselves. We are not here to hurt ourselves or make ourselves uncomfortable. And what's right for me on this side of the screen may not be right for you on that side of the screen. So it's up to you to make sure that you are honoring where you are at in this moment, listening to your body, your mind, your heart, your energy, your emotions. I'm not inside of your head, inside of your body. Otherwise, I'd be able to do those things for you, but I can't. So we're going to sit with our mudra for just 5 minutes. During that time while we sit with our mudra, even if you think you cannot meditate, I invite you to join us. If you can close your eyes, you can be seated, you can be laying down, you could be walking around. You can keep your eyes open if you'd like to. It really does help, especially if you feel like you struggle with meditation, to close your eyes. So I will lead us through just a 5-minute sit with this mudra. If you have 5 minutes, come experience this mudra. The Shakti Mudra is really powerful. So some of the things that the Shakti Mudra does, the Shakti Mudra works to clear the mind. The Shakti Mudra works on the sacral chakra. So it relieves pelvic tension, it relieves menstrual cramps, it can relieve other lower abdominal issues like bloating. It also can work on sacral and root trauma, especially in regard to intimacy or SA trauma, sexual trauma, fear associated with being ungrounded, or fear associated with abandonment and from abuse. So this chakra works really, 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 really good on healing some of these this mudra works really good on healing some of the lower chakra stuff. Obviously, because it's the Shakti Mudra, it serves to connect us with the divine feminine. It also aligns us with the lunar rhythms and the cycles of nature, the feminine cycles of nature. So there's a lot of things that this mudra does. Okay, are you guys ready for the meditation? Quit chatting away already. Let's do it. Okay, 5 minutes. That's all you need. Okay, and I'll stop. I swear I'll stop talking this time, and we'll really sit with it. Okay, here's your Shakti Mudra one more time. Go ahead and tuck your thumb into your palm. Drop your first 2 fingers, no more than the weight of a nickel. Don't try to pop your thumb here. As you bring your knuckles, your folded knuckles together, touch the tips of your ring and the tips of your pinky fingers together. Rest this at the heart. Wiggle the shoulders, wiggle the elbows a little bit, and then let them fall. Let them relax, release tension. Hold your mudra not with tension, just with intention. If it's available to you, please gently close your eyes, and we will begin our practice with 3 deep breaths. Begin by inhaling through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. And let it go. Inhale once more, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back, and hold the breath at the top. Take in a little more, a little more, a little more, and sigh it out. Go ahead and seal the lips, and begin inhaling and exhaling through the nose only. As you inhale, follow the breath all the way to the top. And as you exhale, follow the breath all the way to the bottom. Follow the rhythm of the breath, allowing it to anchor you into the present moment. As you breathe, you may notice that the mind is still busy, or maybe the body is still tense. I invite you with each inhale to focus just on inhaling the present moment. Any of those sensations or thoughts or anything that you're experiencing, inhale them in. And exhale to release. Keeping the lips sealed. Inhaling the breath, gathering up any tension in the mind or the body, and exhaling that tension away. Be mindful in this space. We meet ourselves with loving kindness, with curiosity and willingness, without judgment, without shame, without guilt, without old stories. Meditation is not about perfection, it is about the process. If you are sitting here with yourself, setting the intention to listen to your breath, or to release any tension, or just to experience this mudra, then you are meditating. You are being part of the process. Allow the quiet spaces to manifest within you on their own. Instead of trying to create them or search for them, invite them by simply bringing your attention back again and again and again to the breath, to the mudra, to releasing tension. Just 5 minutes. Slow, steady breaths. Inviting your attention back anytime it wanders off. Check in with your mudra real quick just to make sure it hasn't collapsed on itself. Sometimes it happens, so you might need to readjust a little bit, bringing intention back to your mudra, releasing any tension created. And return to the breath. Just 1 more minute. It's okay if you have spent this entire time with a busy mind and a busy body. Take a big, deep breath in and hold at the top. And exhale through the mouth, releasing the mudra. And bring your hands to prayer, or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice. In gratitude for the Divine Feminine and this Shakti Mudra. Offer yourself some gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. I am so proud of you. Thank you so much for joining me as well. When you are ready to come out of meditation, if you've had your eyes closed, please do so slowly. It can be a rude awakening to come back to reality. So make sure that you're really ready before you open your eyes. Ready, ready, ready. For those of you just joining us, the replay is on YouTube at Move With Change. Cha-ote feels like it makes my low back light up. So one thing that is often not discussed about the chakras, hey T Haven, how are you? Is that the chakras have a front and a back. So when you are treating any particular chakra or using a mudra that affects that particular chakra, it is not uncommon to experience back body things. Further, back body issues can also be indicative of misalignment in the chakras. So yeah, the sacral chakra, which the Shakti Mudra works on. Sorry, friend, I don't go live with people I don't know. Feel free to send me a message about it. Going live another time. So the Shakti Mudra works on the sacral chakra. Now, we don't hold it at the sacral chakra. It's a little bit rough on the wrists. If you feel called to do so, please feel free to do so. I encourage you to explore the mudra. You may find this is a really powerful position to hold this mudra in. It is intended to be held here. It does not mean that you cannot approach it with curiosity and willingness and explore. You kept feeling a sensation in the center of your forehead. Yes, so this, because it connects us with the aspect of the Divine Feminine, does also increase, it also affects the third eye, the brow chakra, and the connection between the brow and the crown. Because the feminine energy is one that flows through our entire energy system, right? The feminine and the masculine, the yin and the yang, the lunar and the solar energies move through every single one of us. Some are more pronounced. Some are less pronounced. Depending on our chakra development, these energies manifest differently in us. So I'm going to officially announce, guys, I am going to put on my chakra workshop. We're going to do it. It's going to start next week. I'm going to put out some little infographic things out for everyone. But the chakra workshop is going to start next Wednesday, and we're going to do a class session, an hour-long class session for 8 weeks. It is an 8-week workshop. You can join us for this 8-week portion. Once the 8-week portion is done, it will be available for self-paced if you'd like to do it that way. I will put out info about pricing and joining and all of that other stuff. So I'm going to try to refrain from talking about the chakras too much because I tend to talk about them a lot, and right before I put on a workshop would be silly to be, yeah. So you guys will hear some of the stuff. You will receive the mudras because on Mondays I'm still doing these Bhakti bites, and so I will still offer you the mudras for one of the mudras for each of the chakras, but not the entirety of each chakra. So if you would like to learn, and also note that this workshop that I'm doing, you can go buy books on the chakras. There are a lot of them, and there are a lot of great resources out there. This workshop that I am doing comes from both my study of the academic study of chakras and the energy body. It also comes from my personal study and experiential study of the energy body and energy work. I was gifted with my family lineage of energy work as a young kid, and came to understand the energy channels and centers before I read about the actual chakras. So this comes from a whole energy body perspective, not just this center, this center, this center, this center. There's a lot more information, and during the workshop, I also give you signs of balance and imbalance and how to treat those imbalances, how to bring your entire system and each individual chakra into alignment. It's a fantastic fucking workshop. I love putting it on every single year. It is the foundation of pretty much all the work that I do, because energy work is my foundation. So everything I do, from coaching to teaching to mindfulness to meditation, all has this energy piece, to astrology, has this energy piece in it. So nice to meet you, Curly. All right, so yes, T Haven. The replay, for those of you who missed the meditation, it's just our 5-minute meditation with the Shakti Mudra. That's our mudra for the week. But there was this piece about the Shakti Mudra that I wanted to talk about. I got sidetracked talking about the chakra workshop because I'm really excited about it. I'm going to spend most of this week finishing it up, making sure that it's all put together. My brain is just all chakras right now. What a funny moment. My brain is usually pretty active. My channel is usually pretty open when I'm sitting here, when I'm doing these lives. Rainbow, I eat mindfully. I eat whole food, unprocessed food. I rarely ever consume meat, and that only came about through listening to my body. It has nothing to do, I mean, yes, there's boons about it, benefits about it in terms of environmental and economic and things like that. But learning to listen to your body and follow your body's guidance toward nutrition is one of the best ways to clean up your diet. Is that Mudra list on the list in the Discord? Yes, it is, T Haven. So in the Discord every week, I also post Mudra cards so you guys can get more information ahead of the class, ahead of the live classes about the mudras. Today we have our Sangha Sessions class at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And the Sangha Sessions class is our group practice class where we learn some different, other than mudras, mindfulness techniques. So today the Sangha Sessions class is focused on the heart, is about filling the heart with joy and operating from the heart. Have you guys heard this thing? Actually, we were talking last week about free will. That's what I wanted to talk about. We were talking last week about free will. And there's this, you guys may have heard of this study where they have found that before they're using this computer screen and somebody is asked a question and they have to answer the question. And they have found during this study that there is an impulse that occurs before the brain actually has the decision made and can act upon that decision. I've heard people use this as a sign that we don't have free will. And I think that's missing the mark. Is there an impulse that happens before the brain has the thought? Yeah. Where is that impulse? Do you know? It's here. The heart and the brain have a direct communication channel. And when the brain is going to make a decision, the first impulse in the body is actually the heart. If you would like to learn more about the specific science behind what I am talking about, a really good resource is called the Heart Math Institute. Heart Math, like numbers math, Institute. And actually there are several resources and work that I have done personally, researched and stuff. But that is one of the easiest places to go and learn about the studies that we have been doing on the heart and how the heart operates and what the heart is actually for. We have this idea that the heart is just the muscle that pumps blood through our body. But there's a lot of evidence to show that it actually doesn't do that by itself. The amount of pressure that the heart would have to create to push the blood to actually be the thing that pushes the blood, pumps the blood through the body is exceptionally more than the pressure that it actually creates. So if it doesn't do that, if that's not its primary job, then what is it? What does it do? What is it for? Well, we already know that before the brain actually does the executive function here, that the heart and the brain communicate. We also know that within the heart has cells similar to the brain structure. Basically has a brain structure of its own in the heart. Yes, it also has a magnetic field. It also generates, as part of generating the magnetic field, the torus that goes around our body. That is our energy body. Yes. I like to call it, we joke, we have a cultural reference to it as our ticker as well, right? And in meditation, I have seen that the heart is the thing that aligns us with the higher natures, the higher cycles of nature, the rhythms of nature. Yes, can we align our energy body by using different frequencies? Yes, but this is our timekeeper, our rhythm keeper, our frequency finder. Hey, Zach, good morning. The heart also has within it things called defibrillator cells. Defibrillator cells, if you take a defibrillator cell away from a bunch of the others, take a heart, take one defibrillator cell away and put it in a petri dish. That defibrillator cell will begin to atrophy. While all these ones are continuing to pump at a healthy rhythm, this one will start to go, oh God, I'm all alone and dying out here. What happens when you bring an unhealthy defibrillator cell back to healthy defibrillator cells? Does it pull the rest of them out of balance? No. It begins to entrain and becomes healthy again. This ability to communicate between cells, the defibrillator cells communicating and entraining with each other, matching frequency, can also occur, let's zoom out a little bit, between my heart and yours. Let's go out a little bit bigger. Between all of us as a collective. Are we all beating at the same rhythm? No. But when you and I spend a great deal of time together, our defibrillator cells begin to entrain and become familiar with each other. And this is why. What happens when that thing happens? We start to go think about the person before they call. We start to know what's on their mind. We start to intuit that their emotions are not aligned, right? There's something going on. We become very connected. And again, culturally here in the West, we talk about this phenomena, but then we don't give credit to the heart itself for what it's actually doing. We have the language and we talk about it casually, about our connection to people, about our ability to perceive and know things about people that we otherwise wouldn't know unless we're talking intuition and energetic connection. Because if I am in a sad place and my heart is beating to match that frequency at which I am resonating, then that frequency is going to affect you. You are going to feel that frequency if you are in tune. If you're not in tune, you may still experience that frequency but not be able to differentiate between your stuff and somebody else's stuff. We are so brain-centric in the West. But this is just the steering wheel of the vehicle, okay? Maybe this is the motherboard electronics of your newer vehicle. This is the vehicle. My son even says, and these are the wheels, right? Our feet are the wheels. But this is not the navigator. It's not the captain. Maybe the glove box where the captain keeps the maps, sure. But the wise navigator, the experienced captain, they do not reside in my brain, in my prefrontal cortex. So how do I find the navigator? How do I find my captain? One way to do that is to tap into the heart, is to learn to listen to the heart. Not just listen to the heart beating, but that's a really great place to start. That was a lot of rhyming. I'll give you another trick too, because it took me many, many, many years of having conversations with myself, hearing different parts of myself, and asking myself, where is the captain? Where is the navigator? How the fuck do I find my higher self? Everybody talks about the higher self or the wiser self. How the hell, right? How do you find that? How do you figure out who that is, especially if you're somebody who chats to yourself a lot in your brain? There's a lot of voices going on. There is one voice, one self within the mind, within the scope of the inner world, that is having the interactions with all of the different parts of self. Those are our ego manifestations. Those are the characters we have built for ourselves in our minds. So where is the captain? The captain is the one who interacts with and observes all these others. The captain is the one who sends messages from the heart to the brain. Your heart may never speak actual words to you. So when I say listen to the heart, I'm not saying listen for it to actually speak to you in the same way that I am speaking to you. I'm asking you to approach your heart with curiosity and willingness. And knowing that there's an impulse that goes from the heart to the brain before the brain makes a decision, acts upon a thought, has a thought, acts upon it. Then it would behoove you to start connecting to that, to start listening to that. Hey, Rami 300. This is, hi, I'm Reverend Deborah, for those of you just wandering in. I am a movement facilitator and your shenanigan shaman. And this is our Bhakti Bites class. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? This is a devotion to self-care class. At the beginning of every class, we do a brief meditation and practice a mindfulness tool. This week, our mindfulness tool is the Shakti Mudra. The Shakti Mudra is done like so. Tuck your thumbs into your palms. Drop the first 2 fingers over your thumb. No more than the weight of a nickel, please. We're not trying to create pressure here or tension. As you bring those folded knuckles together, bring the pads of your ring fingers and your pinky fingers to touch. Holding the mudra with intention, not tension, we rest it here at the heart. I find that it really helps to give my shoulders and my elbows a little bit of a wiggle to allow them to relax a little bit more. And with mudras, it's important to hold them for a minimum of 5 minutes. Yes, Chaote. A minimum of 5 minutes to allow the energy to circulate through your energy body. With the Shakti Mudra, as with any mudra, hold it as long as is available to you. You don't have to be closing your eyes. You don't have to be saying a mantra. You don't have to be doing yoga. You can be sitting there watching Netflix, holding your Shakti Mudra. Or any other mudra for that matter. You can be going on a walk. You could be sitting in class. I often do them laying in bed. When I wake up in the morning and when I go to sleep. As well as when I'm out and about and doing other things. That is why I share mudras. That's why we've been working with mudras for months and probably will continue working through mudras like for the rest of the year because there are so many mudras and they are right here, accessible. So as a note, I know you guys hear me say this often, as a note, if this is not available to you, if you try to get into a mudra and you can't quite get there, you don't have the dexterity for it, please don't shame or blame or guilt yourself or don't give up. Honor where you are in the moment. I know hands that can't reach all the way across. I know hands that can't bend all the way down. And I love these hands. And these hands still receive the benefits of mudras. What is the most important part of any mindfulness practice? Any mindfulness practice is your intention and your attention. So with your mudra, find what is available to you. If you can only kind of go like this, I don't know, find wherever it works, right? Wherever works, whatever works. Get as close as you can to it. And then breathe into that space. Approach yourself with curiosity and willingness. Meet yourself where you are in the moment. Honor where you are in the moment without the need to change or to guilt yourself for where you are. Guilting yourself, fighting with yourself, being mean to yourself rarely ever brought you healing, okay? Please use this space to show up with curiosity and willingness, patience and compassion for yourself. You will benefit far more. Rainbow, what is the point or concept of mudras? And Rami, Shakti and Kundalini are not the same. I will get to your question here in just a sec.
The point or the concept of mudras. So mudras worked to redirect the energy channels in the body. We understand that the energy body, or the body, has 72, I think it's 72,000 minor energy channels in the body. We can see the energy body referenced in several different traditions, both traditional, and now we have modern research to also back up this energy body and the channels and the chakras and all these things. So what do mudras do? Mudras redirect those channels by changing the direction of the energy, by changing the shape of the hands. When we do this, we change the energy flowing through the body. The energy channels are represented by 5 elements, and those 5 elements all come to a head in each finger. Fire, air, ether, earth, water. So when we put our hands in different positions and hold the mudras at different parts of our body, and for a minimum of 5 minutes, because it takes 5 minutes for that energy to circulate, that redirection to circulate through the entire system. And this is why I always say, honor where you are in the moment, because you don't have to be perfect. The energy body is an electrical current, is a frequency, yes? So when you go turn on your light switch, when you flip that switch, does that connection squeeze together and put a bunch of pressure between the 2 plates, right, to make the energy channel flow? No. It barely needs to make connection. If that, right? You know that you can hold 2 things together. This is how a taser works. It's got 2 bars right there, and the energy arcs between the 2. So if you can't make the mudra perfect, trust that your energy body is functioning as it should, and it will redirect the energy channels as much as is available to you. I want you to notice this. If the dexterity is not there, the reality may be that the lack of dexterity or the injury or whatnot is affecting that element in the body. Therefore, using the mudras to realign those elements in the body can give you back some of that dexterity. I know I've got some of you in here, maybe, who have come to me after the mudras and said, I can't get that the first time. And then after the end of the week, you go, wow, the more I sat with it, the more and more easy it became, the easier it became. Yes, part of that is really just stretching your fingers. But we don't do this with tension. We don't do this to put pressure or to hurt ourselves. It's just like when you're stretching. You find the edge, come back from the edge ever so slightly, and then breathe in. Take a deep breath and exhale further down into that edge. That is how we meet ourselves with compassion and patience. What happens if you overextend, overstretch something? You can tear that tendon or muscle, yes? Yes. There's no need to do that with mudras. You will receive so much more through patience and being open to it, rather than chasing it down and fighting for it. That creates tension. One creates tension. One is a process of acceptance and release. It's an important distinction. Thank you, Nikki. And something that can really influence the way that you show up in other areas of life. So, Rami, you asked, is Shakti and Kundalini the same? No. Kundalini energy is, Shakti. So Shakti and Shiva energy. And those terms come from Hinduism. They are the Hindu representation of the yin and the yang, of the solar and lunar energies, of the divine masculine and divine feminine. So we only use those terms in reference to the system itself, not to Hinduism, but to the system. So there are many ways we can talk about Shakti, Shiva, divine masculine, feminine, yin yang energy. The yin yang energy exists within us all. Some of us have stronger energy on one side or the other. And that energy is going to be expressed in the way that we express ourselves. Kundalini energy, on the other hand, is an energy, an innate energy that rises within you. A dormant energy. Essentially a force of power, a force of personal prana that can be awakened through connection to the divine, masculine and feminine. Imagine if Shiva and Shakti got together and made a baby. It would be your Kundalini. So, does that answer your question? I was going to say I can go on for a long time about Kundalini and Kundalini energy and that kind of stuff. But that's what you asked. You're welcome. And again, I talk a lot more. I do talk about Kundalini energy and Kundalini rising during my chakra workshop, which starts next Wednesday. We will have Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, scheduled sessions for 8 weeks for the chakra workshop. Remember, we are not just talking about the energy centers. We're going to be talking about the entire energy body, referencing several cultures, both traditional practices and modern practices, for adjusting, aligning, balancing, grounding, clearing, and doing all of that for your energy. I will also talk about what imbalances in each chakra looks like, as well as the way the energy moves in the body. I love this workshop. It's my favorite workshop to do, and I tend to talk about the chakras so often that if you sat with me in every class, you would probably get this information through the course of a year. But I like putting it all in succinct in a class. So that workshop will start next week, next Wednesday, May 6th, I think, and it will go to June 26th. After June 26th, it will be edited and and packaged up so it can be a self-paced workshop. Note that if you are a member in the Discord in our CAYA Sangha, you receive access to every single workshop I do included in your membership. That is at the Sangha Scholars level and above. If you would like to join a membership, grab a membership, you can do that on my Patreon page. Each membership level includes several, thank you, friend, I can't see your name here, Donna Joe. Wednesday the 8th, thank you. May 8th is when it's starting, because 6th is Monday. 6th is our Sangha sessions. So if you would like to join our Sangha, I have group practice sessions on Mondays. You will get access to this workshop completely for free if you are a Sangha scholar or above. If you would like to join us for the workshop, I will put out information about pricing and it will be on sale. Probably starting next week. I'll do a bunch of this week to push it and do pre-sale and whatnot. And then you can start buying tickets. Well, we'll see. I'll put out the information. I shouldn't talk about too much. I'll put out the information ASAP. I intend to get that done and started to post today. But again, social media likes to hide my stuff. Why? Because this shit is actually that powerful. That's what's amazing to me, is that now that we have AI reading the algorithm and looking at our content through the lens of AI, they're seeing QR codes in my content. They're seeing the energy work. They're seeing the shifts in my content. And so they're hiding my content. And they're telling me that it's QR code content and I'm not allowed to share it. And I'm like, literally, I was sharing a mudra and some energy work. Oops. Sorry, AI. You saw the numbers in the matrix. Of course, AI can see the numbers in the matrix. So because of that, I invite you to follow me on all the channels. I'm at Move with Change on all the channels. I invite you to come join in the Discord where we have a direct feed from all the channels and I share other stuff as well. And we don't have an AI bot in there being like, ooh, you can't say that. You can't share that. If you want to join the Discord for free, you can, 1, send me a message and say, hey, can you send me a link to the Discord? Yeah. 2, you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/move with change. I move with change on all the platforms. And you can get a free link to join the Discord there. You can also snag your membership there. Remember that the membership levels have a 7-day free trial all the way up to the Sangha Scholars level. That is because at the Sangha Scholars level, you get access to all of my workshops. for that reason, that one does not have a 7-day free trial. But everything else that you get on the Sangha Scholar level is available at different free trials on lower level memberships. I split up the memberships this way so that you guys would have some flexibility in choosing how much to pay and what you actually want to receive for it. Also, that said, I'm always flexible. I recognize that the dollar bill, y'all, is not the end all be all and does not denote, 1, your commitment to your practice, and 2, your ability to show up for yourself, right? Or your value. So it's not the end all be all way to get in the Sangha. If a price tag is intimidating and you need some other options, always reach out to me. You can't get anything, right? Nothing else happens unless you ask. So please always ask for accommodation or adjustment if it's needed for you. John, am I making money here on TikTok? Not really, no. TikTok takes a very large portion of any gift. So that said, for those of you who subscribe here on TikTok to support my classes and stuff, I really, really appreciate it. Please do me a favor and go over the Patreon. Feel free to cancel your membership on TikTok and go to the Patreon, because you will, 1, I receive more of it, and 2, you receive perks by going through the Patreon page. The TikTok here offers me the ability to go support other creators through sharing gifts and things like that. They give me a very small payout, but they're also the most aggressive about hiding my content. John, I am not a guru, my friend. In fact, that is my favorite saying, is I am not your guru. You are your guru. And a great number of people who call themselves gurus do go around and make a good bit of money and make a good living on going around and sharing their teachings and sharing their healings. The idea that as a healer or a teacher or a guru that you are not allowed to charge for your services is, well, there's a lot of judgmental words that I can use about that. But it doesn't honor the necessity of exchange. Exchange is an important thing. Energetic exchange is an important thing. Is money the only way we can have an exchange? Absolutely not. In the West, we talk about it as if it is the only way that we can get an exchange. And what's funny is that people shame people who are going out there and sharing their services and doing so and asking for an exchange. And it's very interesting to me that this idea that people who are being of service don't deserve an exchange in return, or that because they receive an exchange that somehow that their practice is not as holy or as centered or as divine. And it's just, it comes from a place of ignorance. It comes from a place of ignorance and an idea of martyrdom, that people should martyr themselves for a higher cause. And that's an arcane way of thinking. And something that we are evolving out of collectively. So, why do I ask for money? What an interesting interpretation of what I said. I love communication for this reason. So what I shared was that we have an online mindfulness community. There is a free space in this online mindfulness community. You can come to that free space, and there are a lot of free offerings that I have in that space. I also teach 4 classes a week completely for free over on various social media platforms, right? Beyond all of these free offerings that I have available online to all of you, I do also have membership levels within the Sangha. For each membership level, I offer various levels of services, classes, coaching, and all kinds of stuff. It is up to you to choose which level works for you. And if the dollar bill is the thing that makes you intimidated and you can't get through the gate because of the dollar bill, always reach out to me, because it's about the energy exchange, not about the dollar bill. So what you're doing here, John, is called gaslighting, and gaslighting is not something that we accept in this space. If you are interested in showing up with curiosity and willingness, you are welcome to stay and converse with us, and I'm happy to talk to you about options available here or discuss other things with you. But if you are going to come from a place of arrogance and ignorance and choose to gaslight and try to twist my words, you will not be welcome in this space. And that is just because we expect everyone to show up with a certain level of personal responsibility. Accusing people, gaslighting, and making things up like that, using these manipulation tactics, is not personal responsibility. There you go. Teacher, coach, yogi, etc. Entrepreneurs are awesome. And in fact, I even add to that. You know, it's really important that, I think it's really important that we normalize paying our friends for their services. You know, this idea that just because we know somebody who does something, that, you know, I have a doctor in the family. Well, I'm going to go to my doctor who's in the family and try to get them to give me free services because they're family, right? They should give them to me for free. They owe me. And the truth is again, it's about an exchange. It is about having an exchange. Because what does the exchange do? It's a way to express gratitude. It's a way to support the work that your friend or family member does. It's a way to honor the time and effort that they have spent learning the skills as well as doing those skills for you. So, normalize creating an exchange with the people that we might otherwise think we should ask for services for free. Money, we don't pay money. Money circulates. I circulate money. We circulate money among our friends. Because while I may have the $20 today to pay my friend for this service, and they may have it next week to pay me for my service, and then we may have it a couple weeks from now to pay somebody else for their service. The community economy. We are collectively moving into a different era. And the time they give, airbrush, yes. We are moving into a different era, a different reality. We are moving into a different level of collective consciousness. And as that evolution happens, there are those of us who are floating with that, riding the waves of change, figuring out haphazardly sometimes how to evolve, right? With the whole, with the collective. Boys, will you take your nonsense outside? But there are also those who will actively resist because they are comfortable in their way of being. And it's usually people who are resisting their own evolution, who come from this place of arrogance, gaslighting, manipulation. I teach a lot about that, and I'm working actually on a nonviolent communication workshop as well. Eventually I will be putting it out. But I want to point out to you guys, we live in a world full of active manipulation, full of active false information campaigns, full of an overload of information. Oftentimes, it's difficult to tell whether things are true or not, falsified or based in reality, or an exaggeration of something. You know, we live in that time where we are completely overwhelmed and inundated with all of this information, and it leaves us in a state of vulnerability. Guys, I can't. The Maya 2012 in calendar was about humans disconnecting from nature. Guys, this is funny. I'm just going to move the camera so you guys can watch them too and see my ridiculous house background. Puppies. Come here. So, hey, do you boys need to go outside? Okay, come on, go outside. Come on. Oh my goodness. Get out there. Go, puppy. Go dog it up. So when you run into somebody resisting change,
When you run into somebody digging their heels into their ignorance, when you run into somebody pointing their fingers at everybody and claiming victim and whatnot, I invite you to tap into your heart space and offer them a little compassion. Because it comes from a place of fear. It comes from a place of rigidity. It comes from a place of being inflexible. Looks like I got everybody's dogs going too. When we meet others with curiosity and willingness, we afford ourselves the opportunity to learn something new. We afford ourselves the rare opportunity to stand in someone else's shoes. Airbrush, vigilante, resistance is futile. There's a Hopi prophecy. There's a Hopi prophecy that says there will come a time when humanity will split between the people with their heads connected and their heads disconnected. And for me, this has always been a really sad prospect. And people use this idea as a kind of divisive talking point. Hey, Mullah Cookie. Saying that there are select few who will ascend, and only the select few will ascend. And the rest of you are going down into the depths of whatever, right? Oh, only 144 people will be saved. Oh, only 144 were chosen to come here and be extra special. I want to remind you that out of the entirety of the universe, from the beginning to the I don't know if it ever ends, from the infinity, in all of the pieces, in all of the moments, in all of creation, there is only one instance of you exactly like this. So to play semantics and be like, yeah, well, your miracle versus my miracle is better than your miracle, feels a little bit infantile and a bit like splitting hairs. When coming from that place and arguing over our differences and bickering over who's better than who doesn't lead us any further down the path of connection or enlightenment or God. But meeting those that we find on this path with curiosity and willingness, taking my blinders off and saying, hello, stranger. Let's be mirrors for each other. Let me show you my side of the elephant. You show me yours. And if we keep doing this to everyone we meet, eventually we get every piece, not every piece, as many pieces as we can muster of the puzzle, and we start to see the bigger picture. It is pure arrogance to believe that I can know all of creation or all of anything. By nature, my perception can only see this much of the color spectrum. My ears can only hear this much of decibels. My body can only experience. My meat bag and brain are extremely limited in their ability to experience this reality. So when someone comes and tells you they are your guru and they have all the answers for you, or when someone comes in and tells you that, no, you're doing this, I know what's happening, I know what you're thinking. My answer, my truth is more correct than yours. I am special. My miracle is more important than yours. Take it with a grain of salt. Mullet cookie. I'm more specialer than you. What about it? Hey, friend.
You only find God when you look inside and master your emotions, all of them, not just love. God is love. Love is creation. Creation is love, is manifesting expansion. Expansion all around us. Love, the love that is creation, the love that is the life force that flows through us all, is God's love. Sees through the eyes of compassion and patience. Accepts the other for where they are and who they are in the moment, and recognizes the divinity in each of us. This is also authenticity. Authenticity is the purest expression of your divinity, of God's love. Manifests as it manifests through you and into creation. My authenticity is not from a place of ego and arrogance. That's not authenticity. We can only see God and experience God if we recognize the nature of God, which is in and of everything around us. This idea that we can pluck all of creation and turn it into a person and place him up on the clouds belittles the very nature of what God actually is, and then isolates us from our divinity by saying it is outside of you, somewhere far away, that you will never see and never hear and never go to unless you're extra special and extra good. Or unless you go to the priestly middleman who he'll talk to that guy for you. What the greatest ruse ever? You mean that God has been in here the whole time? You mean that God is experiencing creation in the same moment, in every breath, in every heartbeat, in every bat of my eyelashes? God is with me, through me. You won't see God at all if you don't see God in all, if you don't see God in all, you won't see God at all, at all. Good inside, puppies. Come on. Come on, you coming in for singing time? Come on, you want to come sing songs with me? Yes? Oh my gosh. Love wouldn't be so exclusive. Love is not exclusive. What we call love is an exchange of our finite energy. It's a misconception of the true nature of love, and instead we use our personal energy, finite energy, to push and pull from each other. That is why we talk about love in the terms that we talk about love. That was why we experience the pain of love, because that's actually attachment. I read a self-proclaimed guru at one point. I read one of his works, and he said, "You don't know love." And I thought, the audacity! This motherfucker is going to write in a book, not knowing who is reading his book. And he is going to say with confidence, "You don't know love." And this is why I don't like gurus, because they have an arrogance about them, which comes from a place of ego. You can be wise and not operate from a place of ego, and not operate from a place of arrogance, and not speak from a place of arrogance. But oftentimes, people who are connected to their empathy, people who are connected to their intuition, suddenly have a very grandiose image of themselves. Look, I'm next to godly. I can feel people's emotions. I can perceive what's going on with them. I'm connected to my heart. I have my channels open. This is fantastic. Oops. Yeah, mullet cookie. All fractals. Little bits. Malcantus. You say you've accepted that you're going to hell. You keep sinning and choosing not to change. You're an exercise for others and appreciated. Ooh, so on point. And we create our own reality. The perceptions that we have about our reality and the way that we look about it and the way that we talk about it and the way that we think about and the things we tell ourselves and other people about a reality create a reality. If you believe that there is a hell that you will go to and you believe that your actions are sinful actions because of what the programming and whatnot you received and the way that your brain currently operates and the way that your body currently operates, then that is your reality. And the more you focus on that, the more that is the reality that will happen to you. That is one of the gravest symptoms, side effects of many of the of organized religion, of religions that separate you from your divinity, of books and concepts and people who tell you that you are intrinsically bad and broken. There are psychologists who also say the same thing. Doesn't make it true. If we take a weight between good and bad on scales that are already tipped to tell us that we are bad in the first place, then the reading is always going to be off. And when a lot of these people, psychologists and whatnot, who come up with these theories, come from tipped scales already, aka bias, misconception, social programming, conditioning. And they're not actually. So a lot of these theories we can look back on and say, that was misaligned, that was misinformed. That is why we constantly revisit these things. That is why it's important to reflect on these things and to compare these old ideas with the new information and deeper understanding as we collectively evolve and expand our understanding of ourselves and each other. Ooh, Danny, yes, thank you so much for saying so. The goal is not to kill the ego. It's to not allow the ego to take the lead. So, if you have heard of internal family systems, it is one of my favorite psychology theories, and it is one that takes into account a lot of modern understandings about the mind and the body and the heart and whatnot. So I implore you to take a look into it. If you don't feel like taking a look, hang out with me because I'll talk about it all the time. Internal family systems recognizes that these different ego facets, these different facets of self, have a purpose and a role, and eventually and essentially insight and guidance for you. Even the parts of you that are ultimately you consider sinful or bad or dangerous or scary have insights and guidance for you once you bring them into balance. When we have out of balance aspects of self, those are usually in response to some kind of trauma or some kind of experience that gave us the idea that we had to put ourselves in these particular situations. Remember this piece. Everything that was constructed in your body and in your mind through your development stages, was all for the purpose of keeping you safe. So the knee-jerk, short-temper character, part of you that you have, that you think is bad and terrible and you want to change it and you want to get rid of it, you hate that rage about you, instead of fighting it, which creates more tension and pressure and pushes it away more, we learn through mindfulness to invite it in and to have conversations with it. When we show it curiosity and willingness, there it is again. When we give it our attention, it changes the nature of a relationship with that thing. Because instead of doing this all the fucking time, no, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you, and then rah, it comes out and rages, right? And you're like, fuck, get back in the box. I would be pretty pissed too if I was part of your crew, living in your body and your mind and your being, and you were like, nope, Nobody can see you. Nobody can talk to you. Think of the little kid selves, parts of ourselves that were joyful and giddy and loud and obnoxious and absurd. How many of us stuff those parts away and say, shh, children are to be seen and not heard. Do as I say, not as I do. And we wonder why these things then start to cause us problems in our life or start to suddenly come out of nowhere. Invite them in and they will no longer have control. There will no longer be struggle. It is that tension and that struggle that causes suffering. If you are suffering with a part of yourself, with a relationship with yourself, it is most likely due to a struggle. Which is why I always, always, always come back to the same thing. Curiosity and willingness. For everything and everyone. Does it mean that I have to let my boundaries go and be a martyr? No. I can still have very firm, very wide boundaries around me and still show up with curiosity and willingness, because it's about how I approach internally any situation. You dogs are ridiculous. It's really cute seeing them make friends. Okay, Mullet Cookie, we'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to get off here in a little bit, though. Yeah, okay. Hey! So, big announcements. I'm gonna wrap it up here. For those of you who are just joining me, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and I am your shenanigan shaman. This is our Bhakti Bites class. Bhakti Bites we go live with Bhakti Bites at 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Each day we add to our meditation. Monday we sit with the mudra for 5 minutes and 5 minutes alone. Our mudra this week is the Shakti Mudra. One last time, guys. Tuck your thumbs in to your palms. Drop your first 2 fingers over your thumbs. Bring the knuckles together and touch the pads of your ring fingers and the pads of your pinkies. Gentlemen! And rest it at your heart. This is the Shakti Mudra. The Shakti Mudra calms the mind, relaxes the body. It helps with sleep. It also relieves lower abdominal cramping, tension, so it can work on menstrual cramps or any other lower abdominal issues. It addresses both the sacral and the root chakra. It relieves pelvic tension. It heals physical and emotional trauma associated with unconscious intimacy and or SA. Opens the doorway. This opens the doorway to receptivity, for intimacy. This connects us. It serves as a connection to our divine feminine. Again, it's the Shakti Mudra. So we sat with it for 5 minutes, and just 5 minutes, that's all. Why 5 minutes? Because it takes 5 minutes for this energy to circulate through your energy body. 5 minutes and nothing more. On Wednesday, we are going to add a piece to the meditation to expand upon our experience. And on Saturday, we go full bore and do a nice, so Monday we do 5 minutes. Wednesday we usually do 10 or so. Saturday I go to 15 or so. Replays for all the classes are over on YouTube. Please follow me on all the platforms. I'm at Move With Change on all the platforms. But the best place to interact, to engage, to get resources, to find my content and all of that stuff, to join classes, is on our Discord page. you can find the link for the Discord on my Patreon page, patreon.com/movewithchange. You can find the links to all my socials there. You can find all the membership levels there. You can find the link to get to the Discord for free. You can find other perks and fun stuff there, including my podcast, including a blog. But there's always more interaction happening on the Discord. If you don't know what Discord is and need some help getting sorted and navigating it, please reach out to me. If you want links for anything, please reach out to me. I can just send you a link via message. Let's see, what else? Next week, the chakra workshop is happening. The chakra workshop is happening next week. It starts, we're going to be having Wednesday workshop sessions at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Come here, you puppy dog. Come here. 1 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesdays, we will be having our chakra workshop sessions. They will be hour-long sessions of discussion and practice, and then at the end, we will have time for questions and things like that. Once the 8-week workshop is over, it will be packaged for sale for self-paced. So you can join now and get the benefit of the class, the live sessions, or you can wait and just get the whole thing packaged afterwards. I will put information out. I'm hoping to get it done today and to put information out about purchasing it and costs and all that stuff. The first people to hear any of it will be people who follow me on Patreon and are in the Discord. Hello, sir. Do you need pets? Really? Shenanigans. Okay. On that note, I'm gonna cry. Okay, so today, remember that we have Sangha sessions, our 1 p.m. class happening in the Discord. You need a membership level to get into the Sangha sessions class. Remember that multiple levels of membership have a 7-day free trial. So you can come in and you can try the group coaching, you can try the group practice sessions, you can check out the Sangha itself. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. We are not in the business of forcing anybody to do anything. I am not your fucking guru. You are your guru. Guru only means that which leads you from darkness to light. That's it. Can somebody else help you with that process? Yes. Can you glean insight and understanding and information from others and other sources outside of yourself? Abso-fucking-lutely. But when you are sitting in meditation, who is the person who brings your attention back? Who is the person who meets yourself with love and compassion? It's you. And it's only you. And nobody can do that for you. So don't let anybody else tell you what your truth is. Don't let anybody else shun your authenticity. Shine brightly because you are a fucking miracle. And it's magnificent. And there's no one miracle better than the other. Just let that shit go. So much gratitude. I love you too, Avery. I love all of you. Remember, you can come join me at 1 p.m. So just an hour and a half here for our Sangha Sessions class. We will be doing a heart-opening meditation and discussion on filling the heart with joy, filling the heart center with joy and operating from a place of joy and actually learning techniques to do that here at 1 p.m. To get into that class, you've got to buy a membership, so you got to go over to my Patreon page, or you can just send me a message somewhere and be like, hey, help me get into class. I can get you in there. We can get you all sorted. And now the cats need me too. I'm going to go. I love you all so much. If I don't see you in class, I will see you in Bhakti Bites Wednesday morning, and hopefully I will see you in the Discord. Airbrush. Okay, guys. All right. Hey, shh. It's devolving into chaos here. It's devolving into chaos. Good night, Kick. Good night, Twitch. Hey, dogs. Hold on a minute. We'll let your kitten in just a second. Good night, YouTube. No.